Gotcha!
Leashy, Leashy, riddle's done. Thank you much for all the fun.
Welcome, welcome. It is good of you to visit our camp once again. May you find here all that you seek.
Last night I had a most strange vision. I saw you standing in the forest. You were not near any water, yet I thought you were fishing. You threw something into the air that looked like a bird, and yet not a bird. The bushes rustled, then started moving towards the strange yellow bird. That was all I saw. It was most strange. Many are the kinds of the dead which do not rest. Some are harmless, some most helpful, but most are extremely dangerous. Some, like the Rusalki, are victims of crimes. Others, like the Wraiths, are the spirits of criminals who cannot rest. But most powerful and fearsome of all are the Nosferatu, the vampires. The Nosferatu, the undead which feed upon the blood of living things. If a man is drained unto death by a vampire, he will rise from his grave as a revenant, hungering for the taste of human flesh. If a vampire shares its own blood with its victim, the victim will rise from the grave as a slave of its vampire creator. It too will be a vampire, but it must obey the commands of its master, and cannot harm its master directly. Sometimes the sharer of vampire blood is not drained entirely by the master vampire. Thus, he can continue to live until struck down by a natural death. Then he will rise from his grave.
A wraith is a spirit who cannot rest because of greed. They refuse to leave behind their possessions, and so haunt the sight of those objects.
If you travel by night, you sometimes can see a mound of rocks where no rocks were by daylight. This is the burial mound of a wraith. Avoid it, for the wraith will try to draw their life from you if you get too close.
The Rusalki are the spirits of drowned maidens. Some are the victims of accidents, and others were the victims of murderers. They retain their physical bodies and try to drown all who approach them. There is said to be a Rusalka in the lake to the east. I have heard tales that a Rusalka may be tamed through kindness, but I have never heard of anyone actually trying such a thing. Oh no. The old rulers of this land, the boyars of the castle, were the Borgov family. They ruled this land for as long as my people remember. The last boyar was a strange man, so it is said. What became of him, I do not know. Only that the son left the valley in shame and horror. When we heard rumors that Borgov Castle was again inhabited, we brought our wagons to Mordavia. We thought perhaps the old boyar's son had returned, and we could trade with him again. We met with the gatekeeper, who said that the Borgov family was dead. Oh, the castle was now owned by a distant cousin who promised to protect this valley as a true boyar. So we did some trading with the gatekeeper, but never saw signs of this Borgov cousin. Soon after this, the rain started to fall, and we were trapped here. I have always had dreams and visions. Some of these are true events. Some are only what could be true. These visions are, like most dreams, clouded in mists. Their meanings, too, are very shadowy. If you wish to learn of your future, allow...
You tell about the gnome and his problems.
Interesting. Baba Yaga has returned only recently to this valley. We have had scent of her to the far south. But the path to her hut is blocked by magic. You will need to find a way past that magical barrier.
Farewell. Perhaps another time I will read your future for a coin, huh?
You thirst for more wisdom? Oh, you are greedy. But it is knowledge only that brings long life. The magician Irana's death is shrouded in mystery. I do not know her true fate, but I only know that her staff protects the town, and her garden protects anyone in need of safety. The staff of Irana has a great deal of magic. It protects the town from the undead. Although, between you and me, the townspeople do not know it. But I had a vision of it one night. I heard it speak in the dream. It told me how it protected the town and of its destiny spell. When the staff spoke no more, I saw a most beautiful crystal floating in the air. The staff touched it, and the crystal shattered. Oh, that was all I saw. In my vision, the staff said that it would guard the town until it cast its destiny spell. That one day, someone would bring a dead loved one before the staff. That person would trade his life force through the staff. The dead would rise, alive and well, though the one who gave his life for the dead would never know. That would be a true sacrifice, done with foreknowledge and with much love. The staff still stands in the town, so I do not think anyone has been willing to make such a sacrifice. Irana's garden is to the south and a little west of here. It is a very good place to rest and heal. There used to be a small bush whose fruit was sweet and filling and always available, but someone dug it up and took it. Why anyone would do such a thing, I do not know. There is a tree whose fruit will restore magic to those who use it, but only a magical spell can get the fruit.
tell about your meeting with Katrina?
I have no knowledge of such a person. Much is strange about your story. I would not entirely trust this Katrina if I were you.
You say...
Farewell. May your dangers be ever far from your feet.
After... 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 After some... After some... You feel a chill. Wraith. The barrow contains treasure that the Wraith collected while it was alive. You find a suit of plate mail armor, a pearl-encrusted goblet, and 25 gold crowns. You turn the light. The small... After following the... You hear? You hear? You hear? straight... You hear? You hear? You politely knock on the door. Fortunately, there's no response.
Hello. Vanna is so happy to be back with us now. He's our friend now, Toby. He's not a stranger.
You tell about Erana's staff and how it can make Tanya back into a real little girl again.
I like the staff. It always made such pretty flowers in town. You say it will make me all better and I won't be a bad thing anymore?
You nod your head.
Oh, Toby, I can see my mommy and daddy again. Toby asks, what else will the staff do?
You try to explain about sacrifice.
Toby says he understands. He says you should take us to the staff now, so I can be with my mommy and daddy again. Oh, it feels weird here. Kinda happy. Icky. I'm scared. I know you'll protect me, Toby, but who will protect you? Okay, Toby. I'll protect you.
A weird voice sounds in your mind.
Death and life are now before me. That for which I am destined awaits me. The sacrifice of life for love. Your love for the child is great.
You see Toby silently nod his head.
Will you trade your life to give life to the child? Will you die willingly for the one you love?
No, Toby, no!
So shall the sacrifice be done. So is the sacrifice complete. I am again the staff of Erana.
I'm so sorry, Toby. I didn't protect you too good, did I? I love you too, Toby.
You take the sobbing child in your arms and carry her to the inn. You awaken her parents and are overwhelmed by their gratitude and joy. It is long before you manage to escape to the peace of your own room for what is left of the night. You awaken as the sun begins to rise.